So today we're going to be doing a different type of tutorial. It's not going to necessarily be a nail art tutorial. It's going to be on my practice hand. So this is a Red Iguana practice hand. It is not the full hands, but it's the, I guess, half of a hand. I can't remember. I'm not sure how much I paid for this. I got it for Christmas. I feel like it was under $100. It is very realistic. Only thing is sometimes it's also posable. So it's realistic and it's posable. I can bend the fingers in any way that I want. The only thing is sometimes, this is a me thing in my opinion, I don't think I do the best job posing the fingers nicely so that they look natural and free-flowing. I feel like when I pose it, it kind of looks a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Rigid, I guess you can say. But it does the job nonetheless. I like it because it gives me practice on working on a person. I don't work on many people. I'm not licensed. I strictly only do nails for my family and friends who allow me to do nails. It's a hobby of mine. I hope to make it a long-term career when I'm able to go to school, but as of right now, it's a hobby. And like I said, I do it mostly or only for friends and family who trust me with their hands. So this gives me, having a hand like this gives me the practice on working on a real person or a hand. I used to use those little magnetic tips and put them into the nail, I guess the nail stands is what they're called. But this, in my opinion, is ideal. If you're looking for a practice hand, you don't have to go with something so hyper realistic. You can go with one of those little mechanical ones. The only thing is, a lot of beauty supply or nail supply stores have the one finger that looks like this, almost. It's one finger. I had it in the past before I got this. I got one, actually I got three when I first started learning nails, and the finger's crooked. The finger is crooked. No matter what I did, the finger was always crooked. I don't know if it was the way it was posed or it was crooked. So my nail always ended up crooked. It was very frustrating. Having something like this that I can move around and pose is a lot better in my opinion, but you have to go with whatever fits your budget. If you want just one finger, I believe Red Iguana sells literally just one finger at I think 20 bucks, which I think is great. I kind of want to get them in all the shades. I got this one because I thought it was going to be closer to my skin tone, but as you can see, it's significantly lighter to mine. But yeah, in the future I hope to get more, but for right now this one is working just fine. So I do like this product. I do like using it. It gives me great practice. But it took me a while to get the hang of this. It took me a while to figure out, oops, sorry, that was my email. Let me turn my phone off. So I want to talk about how I use this because if I'm being totally honest, at first I struggled a bit. I'm not gonna go through my trial and error phase. I'm just gonna strictly tell you what works for me. So as you can see, the hand, it's silicone. So it's going to attract a lot of dust, which sucks because, you know, working with nails, with filing and there's a lot of dust involved. So I'm gonna show you how I clean this before I show you how I use it. So I have manicure brushes. I got these on Amazon. They were fairly inexpensive. I don't remember the exact price of it, but I will be sure to link it as well as the hands and everything that I'm using in this video. I take this and I use swipe. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna use swipe today. I'm gonna stop wasting it. I'm gonna use alcohol. I'm gonna spray some alcohol on the bristles, and you know what? I'm not gonna do it on camera, but I have a cut in my finger and that alcohol did not feel great just now. But so I'm taking this alcohol drenched brush and I also applied some alcohol on my hand directly. You don't have to, but I did. And I'm just gonna brush. I'm just gonna brush it Now when I bought this alcohol, funny story, I went to buy 99.9% isopropyl alcohol. I accidentally bought 50 something percent. I don't even remember what the exact percentage is, so I don't really use this alcohol. I only use it if I'm like cleaning something like this where I'm not really concerned about hygiene or anything like that. I just want to clean it. Like I use it to remove the dust off of my tape. Why am I going on a tangent about this? Just clean your brush. Clean your hand, excuse me. Let this dry. This is how I clean my hands. Okay? I originally bought the Red Iguana holder or the stand for this, but it was not my favorite. It didn't work well with how I was using the stand or how I needed the hand to move, and it actually kind of started breaking on me, which I was really sad because today is April 13th, and I got that practice hand. I got this as well as the stand on Christmas. The Christmas that just passed. So today is April 13th, 2022. I got this December 25th, 2021. And the stand is already not working. And it's not like I was using it every single day. It didn't move the way that I like it. So I'm gonna grab my phone really quickly to show you the stand that I use. I'm gonna warn you now. It is actually, I'm not gonna show you. This is the hand that this is the clamp that I use now. Well, you can't really see it, but that's the clamp that I use now. I got it originally for my phone, to hold my phone, and I ended up adopting it because I barely use it for my practice hand, and it honestly works great. It's clamped onto my desk right now, and I'm not gonna unclap it because I have it the perfect way, and if I move it I'm just gonna screw myself, so I'm leaving it as is. But it is ideal for me, so I recommend it for this particular hand, for this size of the hand. Now if you're gonna get the full hands or a finger, I don't see that working. I don't know if it'll work for the full hands. All I know is that it works well for the half of the hand. So at this point I'm gonna put my practice hand on the clamp, and as you can see, it's holding it really nicely. I have not been using it throughout all the videos. I just started using it, honestly, I want to say 2 videos ago, or maybe even 1 video ago, but it's been working very, very well for me. I have no complaints. I really struggled with getting this hand to work for me the way that I needed it to, if I'm being totally honest. It's improved a lot more now that I figured out how to use it in a way that it works for me, but it took me a very long time to figure that out. So I'm not gonna show you my trial and error situation. I'm just gonna show you what worked best for me. So for starters, I use these tips. They are full coverage. These are full coverage long coffin tips that I purchased on Amazon. They were very, very, very inexpensive, and they've worked honestly great for me. I'm gonna show you how I use them because, as I said, I went through a lot of trial and error before I got to the system. So this is a size 4. So for this particular full coverage tip, a size 4 works best for me. To get it to emulate a nail tip or a nail bed, I don't put it in, oops, it's in there now. I don't put it in this way because it's a coffin, and as you can see, the side walls are not there. I actually put it in backwards, and backwards I find is perfect because it literally, it's a nail bed. And it even has a little bit of a free edge. So I use a size 4 in this particular nail tip on both the index as well as the ring finger. I use a size 3, I believe, on the middle finger. Yes. Okay. And then for the pinky, I believe I use a size 7. Yep, size 7. And then I work from here. So I have, I use, when I'm working on a person, I use nail forms. But when I'm working on my practice hands, it's kind of hard. Let me just entertain myself for a few minutes and let me see if I'm able to get this nail form on here. I'm gonna go with no, I can't. But let me give it a shot if I can make this kind of work for me. Yeah, so no, it's not gonna work. But this is what I do instead. I use the same exact nail tips that I use that I used in here. Well, any nail tip, to be honest, it just has to fit from side to side, from sidewall to sidewalk. But for the purpose of this video, I am going to use the same tips and the same exact sizes as well. So a 4 for the index as well as the ring finger, a 3 for the middle finger, and a 7 for the pinky. To adhere it, you can do it a couple different ways. You can adhere it using hard gel. The only thing is then you're wasting 2 tips. So you're gonna go through your tips a lot faster. So as an alternative, what I use are these double-sided adhesive tapes that I got on Amazon. Pretty much everything on here is from Amazon with the exception of the actual Red Iguana hands. These are used to adhere false tips on the natural nail bed for people who use full coverage tips. But for the purpose of this video, or for my purposes, I'm using it as the adhesive for the actual nail tips. So I apply a sticker or adhesive tape on each nail. And then I can actually stick on the nail directly onto this, or the full coverage tip that I'm gonna use, but I don't, because these double-sided tapes, they're pretty aggressive. So if I do, I'm likely gonna bend or ruin the tip that I'm working on. So what I like to do is actually transfer some of the natural oils from my finger onto to one side of the adhesive tape, and then from there add my tips, making sure that the tips are covering from sidewall to sidewall. Now, using that double-sided tape and applying a little bit of that oil is going to allow me to reuse those same nail tape, the same nail tips that are inside of the hand, as well as the tab, over and over again until that tab wears out. And even sometimes if the tab wears out completely, I'll actually remove the nail tab, apply a fresh one, and proceed with my design. The only recommendation I have is that you don't flood this with alcohol, because the alcohol is going to cause that adhesive tape to kind of separate, and then the nail tip is going to fall off, and that's going to be a pain. this pretty much concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope this helps you, because I struggled a lot with it. I didn't want to get the Gorilla Glue and go through that entire process. I kind of wanted something a lot more simple, and this has worked out great for me because, like I said, I can reuse what's already there over and over again, and so it's pretty much hanging on by a thread. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you guys soon.